सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा।
गणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
भारत माता की जय पुकार करेंगे। भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय। जय श्रीमान श्रीमान परेड आपके निरीक्षण के लिए तैयार है। जय श्री राम। श्रीमान परेड को उसके कलम में ले जाने के आज्ञा चाहता हूँ। जय श्रीमान। तीन में जाने चलेगा। जय राम।
सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तां हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा।
So this was, ladies and gentlemen, the March of Glory. So these brave security personnel have been fighting in and out during the entire pandemic tirelessly, and you can see them, the energy beaming out of them. Now, I request our Honorable Director Ma'am to proceed to release the tricolor balloon. Although they look empty, but see the colors. These are the colors of hope, the valor and the glory. We all, as the family of AIIMS Bhubaneswar, fought together to keep it upright in the last 1 year. And what a moment to claim the clouds at this moment. Thank you, ma'am. May it reach the highest point of the sky. Now I request our Honorable Director Ma'am, our Medical Superintendent Sir, Dean Sir, DDA Sir, and Superintendent Engineer Sir on stage. Please claim your seat, sir. Okay, so now it's the much awaited moment to hear from our Director Ma'am. I request our Honorable Director Ma'am to come on dais and address the gathering. Ma'am, please.
The Dean, Medical Superintendent, DDA, Superintending Engineer, all faculty members, residents, staff, students, and members of the AIIMS Bhubaneswar family. On this beautiful, crisp January morning, I wish you all a very happy Republic Day. This is the fourth, and perhaps it would be the final time I will be having the privilege of unfurling the tricolor, and as we have gathered here to celebrate the 72nd Republic Day. Once more, I get to share with you that feeling of pride, awe, and reverence as we sang the national anthem and watched the tricolor waving proudly amidst this light bluish gray sky. Last year, at the Republic Day function, I requested each one of you to do something on this particular day. I repeat this today too. After this ceremony is over, when you go home, sit with your spouse or your child or your grandchild or anyone who is there at home. Read to them the life story of any one of our freedom fighters. Read it with them together. They were sons, daughters, fathers, mothers, uncles, aunts, grandparents, belonged to all communities, all religions and trades. Their sacrifice must never be forgotten, never go unremembered. So to all of you staff, students, faculty who are here, I ask you to do this one thing today. We need to read the stories of the freedom fighters and never forget the sacrifices that were made so that we may breathe this fresh air. And as you read their story, you will realize and experience their anguish, their frustrations, their sadness, and their sacrifice. It is their blood, sweat, and tears which has enabled us to get our freedom. And today we celebrate it as a Republic Day. It is because of what happened before this came. This pandemic has also taught us what it was to be locked up in our houses. Sometimes people were in a single room, and if we felt the suffocation of being under the control of a government, orders, even if it is for our own health and to protect others, we could imagine how it must have been before independence. This past year has been unprecedented year. A year which can often be described only in the terms of the saddest of adjectives and words which often get stuck in our throat. Yet, we constantly saw examples of courage, of grit, of valor, fearlessness, stoicism, even when all about us seemed lost and floundering. It was these fleeting moments that kept us, the so-called administrators you see here, floating with our heads above stormy waters. It is often said that it is not how we behave when we are winning, but how we behave when we are losing that defines us as a people. When the pandemic started last year, most of us had this feeling that it's not going to touch us. We were realistic enough to believe it will come one day, but we were naive enough to think that somehow it will not shake us in any big way or major way. And so our preparations never had that kind of urgency, and that time early on last year. Until the first patient was admitted on March 19th, when we had to quickly scramble and start running, and we had to start thinking on our feet. We had to make preparations while dealing with the all-pervading sense of fear, social boycott of healthcare workers, a need to protect our students and patients who had already been admitted. We still kept up services, like radiotherapy, dialysis, daycare chemotherapy. The casualty was open, the laboratories functioned. And despite the fact that some faculty or residents or nursing staff became infected, we had to keep going. We were constantly coming up with new ideas, shifting priorities, abandoning ideas that did not work, tweaking those that did. There were those who rose up to the occasion without being told or even having to ask twice. There were those who volunteered for more work. There were those who sat quietly at home, hoping no one would notice. And also, there were some who wanted to take advantage of the situation and not come for work. Not only did they do their best not to come for work, but they also tried to convince others not to come for work. So they tried to hold me personally responsible if any of them became infected. Fortunately for us, the majority of the healthcare workers, they realized this is not how we, the healthcare workers of AIIMS Bhubaneswar, wanted to be remembered. They were made of sterner stuff and were there for the patients, and we were meant to be there for the people of Orissa. For this, I will be eternally grateful and obliged to those who broke the fear psychosis. It is easy for us not to remember the bad parts, like the fuss we had when the faculty were asked to do duty, or the bad press we got when a private hospital dumped their waste and said it was us who were dumping our waste there, or the problems we faced when we had to move a patient just 50 meters and it took 3 hours to do that. But these are lessons we have learnt, and we are stronger not just because of them, but despite them. We can and must recall the purpose we are here today as individuals. We have chosen to be here at AIIMS Bhubaneswar with a common vision, a common pride and common focus. That is to build this institution. We need to watch it grow and become a one-of-a-kind place in this region. But despite all what our detractors are trying to tell us, we are getting there. Our vision is clear and our intentions are pure. Look at the manner in which we made our way through the Kayakalp Award. The first time when the evaluators came here, we were not ready at all. We were barely meeting any of the standards that had been laid down. By the next year, we improved enough to get a second place. And by the third year, we had started addressing what we knew were our shortcomings, and we had a definitive plan of action in place. Some of our fellow colleagues would like to take away the importance of this winning by saying that it is because it is a fluke or a credit perhaps given because of my gender, or because we are in a position where we could do something else. I don't know what it was. But if they feel happy in believing that it will demean us in some manner, that's fine with us. But all of us know that we started to address issues methodically. We had problems with our CSSD, it was taken care of. We had major problems with biomedical waste disposal, that was addressed. We had issues with our kitchen and serving meals to our patients, that was addressed. We had no signage, that is being done. We are setting the bar for innovations, for motivation of workforce, and therefore we are ticking all the boxes in the Kayakalp evaluation form. Now, one of the strengths could be that we have a full-time medical superintendent who can focus on the hospital completely. We also have an extremely active and engaged hospital administration department, which not just supports these activities but knows exactly how to do it. And so the stage was set for us to win this time. It was not a chance occurrence but by design. And that's how it should be, because if you can build something on foundations that are not very solid, it cannot sustain. And we have sustained. We have now won 3 times in a row, and I'm sure we will keep winning for a very long time. The past week has brought us to the fore how easy it is for us to become divided. I'm sure most of you would have watched the events in a country far away unfold. and then see how the same country is healing itself. I was struck by the beauty of words spilling out of a young poet as she urged people, if only we're brave enough to be it. Such words coming out from such a young person resonated the words of the Mahatma. Be the change you wish to be seen. Such simple words, but such profound philosophy. I'm sure you've all heard this quote, be the change you wish to see in the world, by Mahatma Gandhi. But actually, Mahatma Gandhi, in fact, he said, if we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. This is what he said. We are so quick to point out failures in others. Why? Some of our faculty have taken to publicly criticizing our institute. To me, it is like throwing stones at ourselves. We will all get hurt. Someone will get hurt. Such a waste of time. Instead, be the change you want to see. This takes so much more courage, so much more conviction, swimming against the current, setting the bar high for yourself. Let others walk below your bar, but you must jump above it. If you change yourself, others will perceive you differently. Don't wait for others to change. In the past week, we have vaccinated 1,171 healthcare workers. We received 2,200 doses of vaccine. I urge each of you who has not taken the vaccine to come forward and to take it. And to those who have taken it, motivate others to take it. It is in the interest of us as healthcare workers. I heard this story a few days ago. There was this man who lived near a mountain, and every day he saw this beautiful mountain in front of him, and he wondered what it would be like to climb this mountain and look at the view from the top of the mountain, breathe in the air and feel the accomplishment having done this task. So after thinking about it for some time, he said he thought he will do it. So he walked to the foot of the mountain, and there he found a person who was coming down from the mountain. So he asked him, how was the view? What did you find there? And what were the difficulties you faced? So then he listened to what this person said. Then he walked a little while more and he saw another person, and he thought he will ask that person. So he asked this person, are you coming down from the mountain? That person said yes. So how was the view? What did you find there? And then he thought that he should ask some more people. So he kept on asking people, 5, 10, 15, 20. And after he had asked the 30th person, he thought, why should I climb the mountain? I know everything there is. 30 people have described what is there to be seen from the mountain. Why should I bother to climb it now? And he did not climb the mountain. This is exactly what is happening to some of us here. We feel that we need to reach this goal, but we somehow get distracted. We don't go up that goal because we are too frightened to climb it. So we need to have a goal, plan, work towards reaching that goal. If you never take that journey, because we listen to people who claim to have done it, you will never feel that sense of achievement, that sense of challenging yourself, the experience of doing things for yourself. It may take a little longer, but journey you must. The hill we climb if only we dare, said Amanda Gorman last week. Swami Vivekananda in one of his lectures said that the thoughts which you think when you are alone become your goal. There are those amongst us who have great pleasure in dividing us, imagine things which are not there, urging young people to take the wrong path. Let me tell you, we all need each other. We make a whole. Maybe not a perfect whole, but that imperfect structure says who we are. I find it rather a mystery when people come to me and say, we can only work if these people are stopped from working. These people should be removed from this thing, or, change this person, and I can't work with them. To all those people I say, make your own road. Walk on it. Others will join you if your path is true. In our urgency and ambition to be the first, the biggest, and the best, we are in dire danger of losing out on direction and quality. I vividly recall many decades ago when I was setting up the sleep laboratory in JIPMER. We had the director at that time was the chief of medicine, Professor Chandrasekhar, a very tall, imposing figure who was trained in Johns Hopkins. He used to often come down to pharmacology department if he wanted to find out something about an adverse drug reaction or some pharmacokinetics. And all the time he used to keep coming to, we had a small lab and he used to always come there. And I'll never forget this tall gentleman framed against the wall of the sleep lab. He had his hands up and he said, "Remember, even if you win the rat race, you will still remain a rat." So I asked him, "Sir, are you trying to tell me I'm a rat?" Because he was just then asking me what I want to do for the sleep lab. And somehow at that time I didn't realize it. But if we try to do things which only other people will do, for the sake of doing it only to keep up, we are all going to win the rat race, but we will remain rats. So we need to have this thing of making our own path, forging our own path, walking in it and being true to it. So we need to stop comparing ourselves and matching ourselves against other institutions. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, there were lots of photographs posted about the lights and the decorations that different AIIMS did for Republic Day. And this morning I was discussing with our medical superintendent in the morning, and I was asking him, "We didn't do it. Do you think we should have?" And he said, "No, ma'am, we are doing the right thing." So that's the kind of thing which we need to do. Okay? We need to make our own plans and work on it. Numbers will matter only up to a point, but you need to think of quality of patient care, the quality of teaching, the quality of laboratory services we offer. In the race to have many postgraduate seats, super specialty seats, new courses, PhD students, etc., we must tell ourselves we will always be judged by the quality of doctors, the quality of nurses we produce, the quality of specialists, technicians, and so on. If we don't compromise on that, then our accolades will surely come. May not be when we want it or expect it, but they will come. But the problem with quality is that we often believe it is only possible if we have the most expensive equipment, the most expensive high-tech infrastructure, huge spaces, a large and very skilled workforce and all that. Our microbiologists here will tell that no bacteria has yet learned to overcome and survive simple measures like hand washing. So it is in doing ordinary things extraordinarily well that we can achieve this excellence. And sometimes I sense in many faculty and staff the acceptance of this status quo and a hesitation in trying new things, being open to new ideas or of doing things differently. This we must desist. All of us, each one of us, must continue to learn, continue to teach, continue to dream and aspire and continue to grow. The past year has been difficult and many of us have lost near and dear. Despite the difficulties of adjusting to life without your loved ones and coming to terms with the loss, all of you have done your bit, and I am eternally thankful for that. Even our president, Professor Acharya, lost his father just 2 days ago. So this is a time when each of us has to prove ourselves that we can go that extra mile. We are also happy to welcome faculty, residents, nursing officers, staff and students into the AIIMS family and hope their aspirations will be met, and this institute will provide them with a platform to hone their skills and make them fulfilled in every way. While completing our projects, we started like the Burns unit behind us, the Dharamshala, Trauma Center, Balasore Satellite Center, Administrative Building. We also need to start planning on what we will do on the additional land we will be getting soon. I would like all of you to think that unique landmarks that can meet the aspirations of the people of the state need to have a place. And above all, we must remember, we were placed here to address the regional inequalities in healthcare. Many times I get people who come to me and say, I want to do something for AIIMS. And you know that in business there is nothing called a free lunch. So if I ask for something, in return, I will be asked for a favor. So I urge all of you, if there is one thing you can do, ask your friends to donate to us, and also they will get a tax exemption as a rule. Donations in our institute are tax deductible under ATG, and we need to look at ways in which we can fund major products. So use your good connections, get CSR funds or contributions, small and large. That is one way in which you can be actually helping us to move forward. Today we honor many staff for their exemplary contribution, who are unseen and often the unsung heroes whose daily work goes normally unnoticed in the bustle of the daily grind. I thank each of them, and to all the others whom we are not honoring to their enormous contribution during this pandemic. The Kayakalp Award, which we received this year, united us in the most unbelievable manner. It was as if each one of you got the Nobel Prize. That was the feeling, and it was a moment I will personally cherish forever. And so, on this day, I leave you with my heartfelt good wishes and thanks for all the cooperation, the hard work and goodwill I have got from each one of you, and look forward to your continued hard work with devotion, passion and integrity. This institution is not defined by this institution is defined by our collective hard work, our work ethic and our dreams. It is not defined by a single person, whether it is the director, the dean, the medical superintendent, or a head of the department or the DDA. This institution is always bigger than the individuals it houses. It will be here long after our voices are heard no more. And this is what we must fuel us to continue giving our best and to take this institute to the next level. We all need to be working side by side and striding forward together, and continue to work to make AIIMS Bhubaneswar a shining example of the finest tertiary care teaching hospital in the country. Thank you for listening. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for the lovely address, and you reminded us that sky is the limit. Now, I request the faculty from Department of Dentistry to come over the stage, as their hard work, their imagination and their skillful aesthetics are coming to true dreams with release of their Dentistry Yearbook 2020. Indeed a proud moment for the entire department. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now I would like to tell you a few words. लहू देकर तिरंगे को बुलंदी से सवारा है, फरिश्ते हो तुम वतन के, तुम्हें सजदा हमारा है. Now I'm talking about the moment when we salute the pillars of our system, the institution. Those people who have displayed exceptional sincerity and led us from front in the deadly pandemic time. I request our MS Sir, Dr. S.N. Mohanty, to please announce their names as well as their glory, and I request our Honorable Director Ma'am to felicitate our superheroes on this occasion.
Good morning and happy Republic Day. Like all the years, this year also we have decided to felicitate few of our employees who have contributed most for the development of AIIMS. A committee was set up under the chairmanship of Dr. Asa, where Prabhas and Subarna Mitra was the members. There were a lot of applications, around 80 applications by the deadline. Subsequently, there were more also, and I knew that it was very hard for them to decide regarding the suitable candidates. The committee has recommended 22 names of all the departments. Now I am going to name each and every one of them. They will have to come here. Our Honorable Director is going to felicitate them. Now I am reading one after another. Mr. Soumya Ranjan Barisal, Lipu. He is the office attendant working in director's office. Everybody must be knowing him. He is an extremely hardworking throughout, and during lockdown also he was available all the days. You cannot forget his dedication. So we have decided Lipu to be one of the employee who must be felicitated. Let madam please. Next is Mr. Pratik Srichandan, Junior Administrative Officer. Mr. Pratik is working in the recruitment cell, has been performing his work with utmost dedication and sincerity. His communication is very pleasant and he reaches out to help anyone, whoever goes there. So we have decided, the committee has decided, let us felicitate Pratik Srichandan. The next is Bharat Bhushan Maharana, one electrician from the Department of Engineering, always present whenever he is needed by any department. So his name was recommended. I would request Mr. Bharat Bhushan Maharana. Bharat Bhushan Maharana, are you there? Bharat Bhushan Maharana achanti ki? Please come. Okay. So he is one of the most sincere electrician working for the hospital. Mrs. Subhalakshmi Jalla, medico-social worker of hospital. Mrs. Subhalakshmi Jalla. There are many medico-social workers working in hospital. We have chosen her because she holds the responsibility along with others for mainly for the BSKY. Mrs. Subhalakshmi Janna. Mr. Safiq S, Senior Nursing Officer. Mr. Safiq S, he is chosen because of his extraordinary commitment and dedication. He is not there? If Renju is there, can come and accept on behalf of Safiq. Okay. Okay. Mrs. Kalpana Biswal, Senior Nursing Officer, excellent interpersonal skills. Worked hard in all difficult situations including COVID. Mr. Biswajit Raut, Data Entry Operator of IT Department. Please come. He is extremely good, honest person, efficiently handling the data and significant contribution to HMIS system. Mr. Biswajit Rao. Then Mr. Subrat Kumar Barik, Junior Administrative Officer. assigned the task to deal with RTI and grievance redressal mechanism. He has disposed of 1,172 numbers of RTI applications and 92 numbers of first appeals. Many works he has done, disposed of many RTIs and Mr. Pradipta Kumar Raut, UDC College of Nursing. He is also working as data entry operator in College of Nursing, disciplined person, sincere and honest in his work. Great inspiration for the younger generation. Mr. D. Puspam, ASO Security Section. He is in charge of SIS from the security section. As you know, he has rendered selfless service all the time. Quite loyal, very sincere. First person to meet me whenever I come to my office. Mr. Balabhadra Sethi, hospital attendant. Punctual, honest, reliable, who deserves to be recognized for having extremely attitude and hard work. Mr. Dilip Dev, housekeeping staff, Golden Hospitality. One of the sincere staff posted during the COVID pandemic. He has never denied any additional work and executed the same with all the enthusiasm. And he has set an example for others to follow. Mr. Dilip Dev. Mr. Sunil Kumar Pati, Junior Accounts Officer Finance. Excellent worker, good communicator, carries a very good image not only in his department but also with others as well. Mr. Sunil Kumar Pati, Junior Accounts Officer Finance. Then of course Mr. Romeo. Mr. Romeo, storekeeper of store and purchase. He is very cooperative, flexible, works independently, never hesitate to work for long hours, even up to the nights. His commitment was best. Mr. Romeo. Mr. Tapas Pradhan, pharmacist, hospital, pharmacy, very cooperative, available most of the time, always tries to see that the essential medicines are available in pharmacy 24/7, and is famous for his coordination and communication with all ward in charges. Mr. Tapas Pradhan. Mr. Prabhat Kumar Sahu, mortuary assistant. He has sensitively handled all cases during the COVID times. Handle all the relatives of the deceased. Helps in strong services relating to transportation and disposing of COVID-19 dead bodies. Mr. Prabhat Kumar Sahu. Mr. Pradeep Sethi, technician, COVID testing. Works in the Department of Microbiology. Very dedicated worker. He has played a crucial role in conducting huge number of COVID testing. Mr. Pradeep Sethi, technician, Department of Microbiology. Mrs. Vicky Boliar Singh of help desk, first lady to come and sit there, very sincere. Help desk guides whoever comes with any problem. Mrs. Vicky Boliar Singh. Mr. Swadhin Das, case counter. Efficiently handles the case counter with all his colleagues. Very sincere, honest. Mr. Swadhin Das. Mr. Rajendra Kumar Bado handles linen section under Dr. Arvind. He is very committed, efficient supervisor. Always see for appropriate distribution of linen. Mr. Rajendra Kumar Bado. Mr. Pradyumna Kumar Padi. He is in our laboratory. Very sincere, very committed person. Hard working. Mr. Padi, Pradyumna Kumar Padi of laboratory. And lastly, Siddhartha Mohanty, plumber. Siddhartha Mohanty, working very sincerely, available on time, attends the complaints in time as well. So with this felicitation program is over. I would request all the dignitaries to occupy the chairs, please.
Thank you, sir. This was probably a wonderful occasion where we got introduced to the superheroes who work behind stage. And as we know that not all heroes wear their capes. Now, I request our DDA sir, Mr. P.K. Ray, to please come on the dais and give the vote of thanks. you, sir.
Respected Mom and other dignitaries on the dais, and respected faculty and all other colleagues and friends. So first of all, Happy Republic Day to you all. This is I think it is the 8th Republic Day of the Institute. So many things we have achieved together. So this is the time to celebrate. Celebrate means because why, first of all, let us 26th January, why it was chosen to be a Republic Day? Because this is the day on which India became a republic. That means the governance was made through enforcement of the Constitution. That means we become a democratic republic. Just to make the democracy successful, the governance becomes a very important tool, and public institutions like AIIMS plays a very vital role. So all those who are associated with public institution like AIIMS needs to take a resolve on this day how to improve the services we are assigned of, to improve, to bring more benefit to the people. So this is the day we have to work more vigorously to achieve more success in future. Mom has already told our strength and some of our weaknesses which we can easily overcome. So thank you, Mom, for leading us from the front for last 4 years. A lot of transformation has come in many fronts. We have achieved a lot of success. In some fronts we could have done better. Just like last year, this ground was dry. Now is a full green lush lawn. So things changes. Our engineering service has done a lot of hard work. Things could have been done more efficiently, but we have to take pride that yes, we have done a lot of things. So first of all, I take this opportunity to convey my sincere thanks to Madam Director and all other my senior colleagues on the dais, Medical Superintendent, Dean, Superintendent Engineer, and specifically I take this opportunity to convey my heartful, earnest thanks to our security personnel. Throughout the year during COVID pandemic, they were under pressures. They managed extremely well. Many of them got infected. In spite of that, they did their services at the highest of their ability. It was not an easy thing, very easy to say, but they did their public services to the best of their opportunity, best of their ability. Thank you very much. Then our Sulabh workers who are presently engaged through Golden Hospitality. Initially, very few people turned off. Later on, with a lot of motivation by our hospital administration and all other team, they did their work in a very efficient manner, and we got kayak curve where their contribution is notable. So many thanks to them. I also thank all our outsourced staff who have continuously rendering their service for hospital, administration, finance accounts, and all other maintenance services, for which AIIMS Bhubaneswar has become one of the eminent AIIMS or emerging AIIMS in these years. Thank you very much for all your services. I also take this opportunity to thank our nursing staff who have done excellent service during COVID time and now made a benchmark for healthcare services. Here I will add, ma'am, 2 to 3 days before, the result of national, because all AIIMS nursing officer recruitment examination is being conducted by AIIMS New Delhi. There, the topper has chosen AIIMS Bhubaneswar. So somebody asked me, so I told whoever will get associated with AIIMS Bhubaneswar, he will be the topper or the first prize winner. So don't worry. So that means the toppers are choosing AIIMS Bhubaneswar, means we have kept our hospital and patient care services at a very higher level, and good nursing officers are coming forward to join us. That proves the point. So then our resident doctors who remain a pillar of our patient care services during COVID pandemic, they have done excellently well, for which we are taking proud that our hospital is one of the best amongst new AIIMS. So thank you very much for all the resident doctors for their services. Then our respected, beloved faculty members. So they are the leaders. They are leading from the front. Last 1 year, it may be COVID or whatever may be, it is their wisdom, their leadership, which is leading us all together. So thank you very much. I convey all others whom unconsciously I left out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DDA sir, and your entire bandwagon of the administrators.